Good morning, Flosstube. It's Tuesday, possibly the 27th. I didn't look at the calendar before I hit record. My name is Helen. Thank you so much for joining me again for another look at what I've been up to. I've got the regular stuff to share this week, plus a couple FFOs. I had a few pieces that had been kind of building up that I hadn't found the right frames for, and I finally found what I was looking for one and pulled everything out and got those done yesterday. It's sunny. See all that sunshine? It's been gorgeous here. February is hit or miss. We're up, for anyone in New England. This year we've had days in the 50s, so it's been nice, but it's just giving us all a taste of spring, and we know full well we could have a blizzard next month, and usually we don't get melting and things until late March, early April. So we have a ways to go, but I am ready. I'm ready. I'm actually thinking I might take down, all my winter things and put up some spring. And maybe that will encourage Mother Nature to get speeding up so we can... Oh, there comes the cat. She's going to look out the door. The kittens, they'll be a year in April. We got them in the end of September. So this will kind of be the first spring where they've been able to watch birds and do all those cat things. So I'm sure she will be... I know we can't see her, but she'll be out that door the whole time. So, all right, let's get going. Stop babbling. Last week was school vacation week. I didn't know if I'd get a lot done or a little done. It kind of just depends on what we're up to. My son ended up getting sick at the beginning of the week. Nothing major, just a fever. So we kind of hibernated for a couple days, and we did make it out to visit some friends. But we didn't do a whole lot. We watched some movies. We played games. So I did get a decent amount done. So I'm going to start with my finishes. I had two finishes, both of which I've shown the actual piece here on my channel. The first one was the tree lot from Little House Needleworks. I did this on a piece of jade, picture this plus, because I really wanted that white to show up. So this frame is metal. And it has, the cutout. I found this at Kohl's last season. It had a piece of glass that was like glued in. I had to use like an X-Acto knife to cut the sticky stuff off. It was kind of a pain. And this little doodad was already on there. If I had done one on my own, it would have had less glitter because there's been glitter everywhere. And I'm not really a glitter girl. So, but this one I think is perfect. It's a 4x6 frame. I think that was a 16 count Aida. I used Lancaster red for the truck. I said this last week. It calls for barn door, whatever one it calls for. I don't have a store that I can just zip over and grab Classic Colorworks and other flosses. So the one that I got in the mail is pink, and it just didn't work for me. So I just looked through my stash and found one that did. So that's that one. And then the other one was one I just finished. This was Silver Creek Samplers Dandy Dreams. The fabric I dyed myself. It's like a light sage green. And I was looking, I couldn't find the right frame. Finally, I found this one. I found this at TJ Maxx, and I just found it. So I don't know if all TJ Maxx's have the same thing, but this is one I just found. It's kind of a light gray. I wish it were white. I may attempt to spray paint, but sometimes when I spray paint, I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it. So I'm going to set it out like this year and see if it grows on me. And I didn't put glass in here, so I don't have any glare. But I think that came out really nice. Probably working on this one is what made me be ready for spring. This is Weeks Dye Works Lilac that I used for the words. So those are done and ready to go. I did those yesterday. Whips, I've been working on a couple things. One thing I realized I hadn't shown you guys in a while, I talked about it, but it's my car project, so it'd been in the car. This is a Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings 22. So I'm using these people to make the little pieces that go on the sleds for my ornaments this year. So I just I have PC Stitch, and I went in and I recharted them. Just had to tweak them a smidge to make them fit. This is what I worked on when my son was in basketball practice and when we had a flat tire, you know, stuff like that. I leave it in the car. So I have a couple done. I have 4 done. So there's Santa. I just filled them in with a light blue to kind of make them pop a little more. It's the girl elf. His hair should probably be a little darker. I might darken that up the next time. I need to make like 12 or 13 of these. And then Mrs. Claus I cut out just to see how that would go. So I have the sleds already and these are working up quick. Yesterday we had to go to the doctor's office just to check in. I mean, I started this one there. I started this one on a red. I saw someone else do theirs last Christmas in red and I liked that. I don't know if it was Buckeye Stitcher or Delicious Threads. I know both of them did a lot of these sleds last year and they did it on red and it looked really nice. So I ordered me up some red. So I've been working on those. This is my moose bag. This is 31. I found it last year. I think I got it on eBay, but this was one of their holiday patterns last year, so I love that. So I worked on that. The other one I started since I talked to you guys last, and I'll be done in a couple days. I don't have the picture because it's a Etsy pattern and I just printed out the pattern, not the actual picture. This is Wee Little Stitches. It's the Star Wars. She has a bunch of different ones. This one's the A New Hope. So I've got Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie, and then it has C-3PO and R2-D2. And this one's for a friend. This is on Picture This Plus Mirage. And these go quick. I picked the Mirage so the whites would pop a little more. So I'll frame that up and get that to her. And then the other one that I've mainly been working on, like I said I would be, is the Fresh Eggs Farm. I started this on the 13th, so a couple weeks ago, because that was my birthday. That's the only way I remember that. So it's moving right along. I swapped the colors. I'm using the Victoria Motto threads that I have for most of it, not all of it. The truck is again the Lancaster red. And I was using a Victoria Motto for the blue. I don't have a ton of the Victoria Motto. I'm just kind of starting to get them. And the blue I had just was too grayish. It just wasn't showing up. So I am using the called for old time blue. It's a Classic Colorworks. It's the called for Classic Colorworks. And then I swapped the flowers to a light purple just because I like purple. Unlike Chelsea, I'll put some purple in mine. She can have the pinks. I'll take the purples. So I love this. It's coming along really well. It's called to do one strand on all this patch of grass, but that green that I found just wasn't showing up enough. So I put in 2 strands. Now, this is the one I showed you guys last time. I dyed this Aida just to kind of see if I could, because I do so many of these chalkboard ones. It would be nice to be able to dye my own, not only to save a little, but also that way when you order, you know, it takes time to get it, which is completely understandable because they have to dye it. But this way I could start right away and I didn't have to wait. And if I needed, you know, I don't want to just have a bunch on hand and then I might want a 16 count or an 18 count. So I dyed this one and it came out really well. And I had a lot of people ask what I used. So I thought I might try and do a tutorial, but my kitchen is just not set up in a way that is really doable. So I'm just going to tell you. So I have some plastic, very official plastic tubs that I use only for dyeing so that I don't have to worry about food being in these after my dye has. So I took my fabric and I cut it big because I know first of all it will shrink, and second, like the edges will fray. And I wadded it all up and soaked it in water with a little salt just from the shaker. They say that supposedly helps it take the dye better. It's not going to hurt, so that's what I did. Then I mixed my dye while that was soaking. So I mixed 2 dyes. The first, and these are right from the RIT website, I just guessed. I guessed which gray to use. I ended up using what I think was called Platinum. It's a 1/4 teaspoon of Kelly Green and a 1/4 teaspoon of black mixed with 1 cup of water. And I usually boil my water and then mix it with the hot water. And then I mixed another one that was in a different container. It was 2 tablespoons of black and 1 cup of water. So I took my wet cloth out, squeezed all the water out, kind of wadded it up, you know, squished it up, put it in this big container, which this is an 8-cup container. And then I poured all of the gray mixture in here. And I had my gloves on and I really squished it up and worked it in there because I didn't want any white. I wanted this like a base gray. If I had a bigger container, I would have done it in a bigger container so that I made sure it got all gray, but this is what I had. So got the gray in as much as I could. Then I kind of re-wadded it so that you had some of the fabric sticking up out of the water. And I took the black and I used just the tablespoon that I measure my dye with, and I liberally kind of poured the black onto all the exposed area to kind of get that dark effect. Then I put the container with the liquid, with all the stuff, on a couple paper towels in the microwave for 1 minute on high, which is apparently the low immersion technique according to their website. Took it out and then I rinsed it out. I rinsed it first with a little warm and then cold water, and I kind of rinsed it until it didn't bleed anymore. And then that was it. Then I just kind of stretch it out, and I usually hang mine over a coat hanger in the bathtub so that if it does drip, it's in the bathtub. So it came out really well. It usually dries a little lighter than what you see, but I'll definitely be doing that again because it looks good. Now, I do like Hand Dyed by Stephanie's slate better than mine. Hers is not as stiff. Again, I don't know what dyers use. I don't know what magic fairy dust they put in there to make it not so stiff. But this is fine. It looks good and this will do. So I'll definitely do that again. And I'll write those measurements down on the bottom in case you didn't jot them down. So I'll write those down. That's how I did it. Different fabrics dye different. I did a second piece that doesn't look quite as nice. It had a few more spots that could have used a little more gray. Next time I do it, I'm really going to try and get that base gray on there. You can even see kind of on the edge of this one, you know, there's some spots that didn't quite get enough. So, but I'll do it again. I'll definitely do it again. So that is FFOs and whips. That chickens, they might be done by the next time. And then my parents, for my birthday, they're down in Florida right now. For my birthday, I had sent my mom a picture of Priscilla's finish when I bought that chart so she could see it, because she really likes these chalkboard designs too. And for my birthday, she tracked down at Hobby Lobby the official Priscilla Farm chalkboard. So when they come back up in May, I'll put it all together. So I'm excited. That'll look really nice. All right. So haul. Well, before haul, I have a Pass the Stash, and I have my first rack. So excited. So Pass the Stash, Heather at Imperfectly Perfect Stitcher had finished Spooky Row. Hers came out great. So I had commented how much I loved that, and she passed that. She even sent me a skein of 53. This is one of those variegateds, and that's what she used for the words. So check out her video. She showed the finish 1 or 2 videos ago, and it looks great. So I love these rows. Hopefully I can get to that this year because I'd like to have that up. So I have that. And then one of my Instagram friends, Julie, who just started her own Flosstube channel. Julie is Gulf Coast Stitcher. So you have East Coast and Gulf Coast. She sent me a message, and she likes the chalk designs too. She had 2 of the March. When she went through her stash, she found out she had an extra. So she asked if I'd done this one and sent it up. So thank you, Julie. If you watch her video, she talked about her first one, how she really likes the Pat's favorite needles. And she said, if I ever send you anything, I'll probably send you needles. She sent me needles, which is awesome because I've heard of these, but I haven't tried them yet. So I'm excited. And the cutest card. I don't know where you people find your cute cards. They don't have a lot of cute stuff up here. double-sided. So thank you very much. And I'll link Julie's channel below too. She's just starting. I know she's making her second video soon. So check her out. Show her some love because she did a really good job. Other haul. I finally got my Black Friday order from Fabrics by Stephanie, which had I known I needed more slate, I'd have put it in there. I was in no rush for this. I know it took a long time, but it takes what it takes. It's so worth it. So I ordered 3 pieces. The first piece was a big one. These were all 16 count Aida. This one is Ocean's Tide. And I got the big one for this. I was thinking of doing Andromeda Mirabilia. I needed a big piece for that. So that's why I got this one. It's very blue in person. And Andromeda is light purples. It looked great on the viewer. We'll see what I decide. If not, this is gorgeous. I can use it for 100 things. This one, I wish I'd gotten the big piece on because it's way prettier in person. This is Sea Glass. And it's a beautiful light green. Like it's not a Christmas green, it's not a minty green, it's a sea glass green. So it's this beautiful. I'd like to do Andromeda on this. I don't know if she'll fit. I'll have to check because I think those purples would look really, really nice on that. The other one I can't pronounce to save my life. Sashanok. It's brown. Actually, it's not brown. It's gorgeous. It's brown. The light goes better this way. It's brown with greens and reds. It's really pretty. It's really, really pretty. So I'm glad I got that. I got that one I needed some more neutrals. So that one is really a gorgeous piece. So those came. Then I was on the dreaded stash unload. You know how hard these are to find, right? $4. I don't know when I'm going to do it. It's not my favorite of the little mirrors, the Halloween one and the Christmas one. That's why I keep checking, because one of these days I'm going to find one of those for $4. So this is the Easter Fairy. These are sold in a kit. They're still available. The kit, I think retail is $50, and sometimes they're on sale. It comes with all the floss. Like, it's not terribly overpriced, but it comes with the linen, and I won't use the linen because I stitch on Aida. So I was thrilled to find this. I may do a color conversion. I may not get to it for 5 years, but I have it. So I have that. The same seller was also selling, I should take these out. She had some Lizzie Kates, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go crazy over trying to get all the Lizzie Kates. But one of these, this one, oh, it's a real photo, so it's shiny. I love this one. This is an old one. It's number 101, it says, of hers. So this is the Joy sampler. And then she had 2 others, and they were also $4. This is Liberty sampler. And then the last one she had is the Thankful sampler. There's a summer one that's super cute. I think it's called Sunshine sampler. She didn't have that one. If she had, I'd have snapped that up because I really like that one. But I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount for these. So these will be cute to kind of swap out, and they'll go quick. They'll go really fast. Last thing, I needed to do an order with 123 for some fabric. I needed something that I'll talk about in a minute. So I picked up a couple Prairie Schoolers. Old MacDonald. I thought maybe I could do some of those little animals to go with my farm stuff. So I picked up that one. This one's still in its plastic. This is Harvest Time. I really like that top one. The others are fine, but I really like that top one. Speaking of the farm stuff, I was trying so hard to not buy anything from the Nashville previews because it's not like it's going anywhere. I can get it in 6 months, 2 years. But the plum streets killed me. So I ordered a couple plum streets. I pre-ordered those. So they'll be here. And one of them I'm hoping to get right started on. So the last thing I ordered is, I had 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how that's humanly possible. I mean, when I started, I thought, I might get like 10, 20 people. I had no idea that it would happen so quickly. I was very, very thankful and grateful and overwhelmed. So thank you all. So to celebrate, right, we need gifts. So I picked up, every time I show Evergreen, I always get a bunch of compliments. So I picked up a second copy. It's shiny because it's in its package. It's the floppy reprint. I photocopied mine onto, I didn't do this one on cardstock because it's big. It's a big pattern that you have to fold up. So I think I ended up taking it to the library where you can make like the 12 by 16 or whatever it is, so I can fold it all up and squish it. So Prairie Schooler Evergreen, as a little thank you, will be my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So we'll do the normal. Don't say giveaway. Be a subscriber. Be over 18 so you can legally give me your address. And what I'm going to ask is, what I'll kind of keep an eye on, because I know some of you already have this, and you might not want it again. So if you're interested in Evergreen, tell me which Prairie Schooler pattern do you wish that they would re-release next. There's a couple I wish they would re-release next. One of them I don't even want to say, because then someone's gonna like snap them all up because you'll realize how cute it is. So let me know which Prairie Schooler you wish they would re-release next, and I will random number from the people interested and send this out with Evergreen. Speaking of 1,000 subscriber giveaways, I don't know if you guys watch Lynette, Homesteading on the Homefront. If you don't, you should. She's great. She's doing the Little House, Farmhouse series. Such a tremendous idea. So for her 1,000 subscriber giveaway, she has designed these little quilts, cross-stitch quilt squares that will match that series perfectly. And she's offering them to everyone, which is such a sweet thing, generous thing to do, and a great way that everyone who's interested, you know, I can't buy 1,000 evergreens, but she has, and I think it's even labeled 1,000 subscriber video, and she has a link to, she shows off the one she has done. I'm not doing that series, and I'm still going to go on there and grab a couple of those to stitch up, hopefully for Christmas. So Lynette, that was sweet. That was a really nice thing to do. That is all. That's all for today. I'm going to keep going on chalkboard. That one will be done, I think. I mean, if I do a video every couple weeks, that one should be done. Then we'll see. I don't know what's coming out after that. Something's been nagging at me, so we'll see if I pull that out or if I don't. I think I'm going to take all this winter stuff down. Like I said, I'm ready for color and purples and yellows and greens. Get some spring in here. All right, thank you guys again. Thank you so much. Again, 1,000 subscribers blows my mind. So thank you very much. Keep making those videos. I'm a little behind. School vacation put me a little behind, but I will catch up. And I love watching them. Thank you guys. Bye.